A very good morning to all the participants. This is Mahavir Penna, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bangalore, Karnataka. We welcome you all for the second day of AICT sponsored Short-Term Training Program (STTP) under AQIS program on Data Science for 5G Cellular Networks from 3rd to 8th August 2020, organized by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bangalore. In day one, we had a wonderful session by keynote speaker Dr. L.M. Patnaik sir, Adjunct Professor, IISc Bengaluru on Big Data Applications. On day two, we got exuberant personage Dr. VARAPRASAD sir, Professor, PG, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore, who is giving his talk on open issues in wireless sensor networks. On behalf of management, principal, and head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, we welcome you, sir, for this event. I'd like to introduce the session speaker to all the participants with brief profile. Dr. G. Varaprasad, sir, obtained his BTech degree from Sri Venkateshwara University, Tirupati in 1999. MTech CSE from Visvesvaraya Technological University, Belgavi in 2001. And then he accomplished his PhD in CSE from Anna University, Chennai in 2004. In 2004, he joined with Protocol Engineering Technology Lab, Department of Electronic Communication Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, as a postdoctoral fellow under the guidance of Dr. P. Venkataraman. His PhD work supported by University Grant Commission, New Delhi. He worked as a junior research fellow at GCE Anna University under Dr. R.S.D. Wahida Banu. Since 2005, he has been with the BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore, in Department of Communication Science and Engineering. In his credit, he has 64 journal papers, 54 conference papers, whole 19 patents and copyrights, and 2 are in the pipeline. He has authored for 4 textbooks and 13 were awarded. He executed 9 external funded R&D projects, 3 consultancy projects worth of 1.3 crores. Currently, he has executing 1 consultancy project. He has been actively involved as an expert member in various committees such as ACTE, NBA, DRDO, ADA, UPSC, and DST. We are greatly honored and privileged to have you with us for this elite event, sir. With this introduction, I once again welcome and request sir to take over the session.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thanks. Sir, can you share your PPT, sir?
Yes, that's why, sir. But now it's not visible. For 1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, now it's visible, sir, to you. Hello? Sir, visible to you?
Sir, it's visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's visible, sir. It's visible, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Good morning to all. First, I want to say thanks to the Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering Management, Principal Suresh sir. I want to say thanks to Srinivas Shivshankar sir and other faculty member for giving this opportunity for me to give a talk on the applications, open issues in wireless sensor networks. In future, wireless sensor networks play a major role. For example, if you want to travel from Bangalore to Chennai, Shatabdi train, then at this moment, the traveling time it takes more than 5 hours. But in future, the traveling time take less than hour, 1 hour. In future, the Shahzad trains moves at the speed of 450 km per hour. Physically, this train will not stop at the Bangalore railway station, but you can enter inside the train. This train will not stop at any intermediate railway station. It stop only at the Chennai railway station. Starting station is Mysore. But virtually, this train will stop at Bangalore, Katpadi, and other major railway station. Let me explain this in more details. There will be an escalator. Each station, this escalator is equipped with sensor device in order to predict the speed of the train. When the trains comes to nearby railway station, this escalator will move the same speed of the train. Both of them, I mean, train as well as escalator will move same speed parallelly. This escalator helps the passenger to get down from the train. It also helps the passenger to move inside the train. The escalator moves till all the passenger move inside the train. After that, the escalator will come back to the normal position. I mean, back to the railway station. Physically, this train will not stop at any railway station, but virtually, the train will stop. Passengers enter inside the train and can get down from the train. This is the outline of my presentation. First, I will talk about the wireless sensor networks. Then I will talk about some of the application where we can use wireless sensor networks. Then I'm also talking about the various physical component of the wireless sensor networks. Then I'm also talking about the architecture of the wireless sensor networks. Then I'm also talking about some of the operating systems we can use in wireless sensor networks. Then I'm also talking about some of the simulator that can be used in solving the problem of wireless sensor networks. Then I'm also talking about some of the open issues. Then I'm also talking about the various funding agency in India in order to apply the research proposal to secure the research grants. Then I'm also talking about the conclusion and then finally references. Introduction. Sensor is a transducer. The main objective of this transducer is convert the physical phenomenon like a sound and vibrations and light, temperature, value into electrical signals. Figure 1 shows the various sensors which can be used in order to measure the temperature value as well as moisture value. Sensor node is a basic unit of wireless sensor network. Here it contains the multiple number of sensor. It is also contain the microcontroller. For example, it may be the PIC microcontroller or DSP or it may be the ARM, like that. It is also contain the memory in order to store the temporary data. It is also contain the transceiver in order to transmit the data. In order to receive the data, it contain the transceiver. It is also contain the power units in order to functions the various activities. It required power units. These components are major components of any sensor device will have. These components will help us in collecting the data and storing the data and transmitting the data. Figure 2 shows the sensor node. Left side of the figure shows the sensor node which help us in pouring the water to the plants. The sensor, whatever I am showing to you in the slide, figure 2, it was developed in the wireless communication lab in BMS College of Engineering. Wireless sensor network is a type of network. It can be used in collecting the data. Wireless sensor network consists of sensor devices. In wireless sensor networks, the gateways nodes are used in sending the data to outside of the networks. In case if you want to access the data remotely, for example, if you want to know the temperature value at Bangalore or Chennai, you can use wireless sensor networks. Collected data may be stored in the cloud. In the sense, these sensor devices will collect the data and stored in the cloud, because a huge amount of the data you can store in the cloud for accessing the data by end users like us. Same thing as shown in the figure 3. For example, deploying the sensor nodes at various part of Delhi to know the pollution level of carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, you can use wireless sensor network. Some of the major difference between the wireless sensor networks and mobile hard networks. In wireless sensor networks, it supports many to one communication. For example, many sensor nodes communicate to the sync node. It is also support one to many communication. In the sense, sync node is communicating to many sensor devices, whereas in mobile hard networks it supports one to one communication. In the sense, one node is communicating another device. Another difference is in wireless sensor networks, all nodes are static. In the sense, nodes in the networks does not have a mobility. Whereas in mobile hard networks, nodes are dynamic. It means that in the networks, all the device will having the mobility. Another key difference is in wireless sensor networks, the power usage is very low in terms of milliwatts, whereas in mobile ad hoc networks, the power usage is more in terms of watts. The power usage depending on the type of device you want to use. Another key difference is in wireless sensor networks, you will not get more bandwidth, only few kilobits per second you will get, whereas in mobile HADOC networks you will get more bandwidth in terms of Mbps. For example, up to you can get the 600 Mbps. Another key difference is in wireless sensor networks, it supports more number of devices, in the sense node in the networks, whereas in mobile HADOC networks, it does not support more number of device in the networks. Another difference is in wireless sensor networks, the failure of one node does not affect the network performance, whereas in mobile HADOC networks, it's affect the network performance. Wireless sensor networks application. Here I'm talking about some of the major applications. For example, you can use wireless sensor networks in monitoring the friendly forces, for example, allied forces. And here you can also monitor the equipments. Figure 4a shows the monitoring the friendly forces. Here all vehicles are equipped with sensors to follow the vehicle. Another example of wireless sensor networks is battlefield surveillance system. Figure 4b shows battlefield surveillance system, and figure 4c shows the targeting the object during the warfare. Here the sensor devices are used to collect the enemy details in order to destroy the object. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in the nuclear power plants and even chemical plants in order to identify the leakage of harmful gases. Wireless sensor networks can also be used to know the radiation level. Means you can deploy the sensor periodically. These sensors will collect the like a radiation level at the various nuclear power plants. Figure 5a, 5b, 5c shows monitoring the nuclear power plants and chemical plants as well as coal mines. Now, wireless sensor networks can also be used in monitoring the environment in order to protect the nature. It can be used in detecting the fire in the forest area. Here, the sensor nodes collect the data about the fire and send the data to base station in order to take the necessary action. Figure 6a shows the fire detection in the Australia forest area. As you know that every year in Australia country, large amount of properties as well as life will be lost due to the forest fire. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in identifying the glacier melting information. Recently, surveys shows that in Himalaya by year 2030, maximum number of glaciers will be vanish. Means people who depend on the Ganga river will have to face the problems the problem like a cultivation of the land, drinking waters, and other issues they have to face, especially the states like Bihar, UP, West Bengal. will have to face the problem. Figure 6b shows the Glacier melting information at the Atlantic area. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in monitoring the database bins. Here, each bin is equipped with sensor devices to know the level of the database. Once the bin is filled, then it sends the alert message to the database collector, the guy who collect the waste material. Same thing as shown in figure 6c. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in detecting the floods. Yeah, figure 7a shows the detection of the floods. Here, sensor device is used to detect the flood level. Once it is reached the threshold value, then it send the alert message to concerned authorities. Wireless sensor networks can also be used at the dams to know the water level. Here, the sensors deployed these sensors periodically collect the data. Collected data will be stored in the cloud so that end users like us can access the data remotely. Same thing as shown in figure 7b and 7c. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in detecting the air pollution at the various places. We can collect the samples at the various places like a Delhi, Bangalore, then take the necessary action. Figure 8a shows the air pollution at the one of the city in the China. As you know that China is one of the most polluted country in the world. Wireless sensor networks can also be used to know the water pollution. Here, the sensor nodes are deployed at the various places. These sensors collect the data, and after analyzing the data, then take the necessary action. Figure 8b shows the water pollution on the Ganga River. One minute. Wireless sensor network can also be used in the home appliance, office automation in order to save the power and water. Here, the sensor nodes stop water flow in case if you are not using. Same thing as oh, wireless sensor networks can also be used in the healthcare sector. For example, telemonitoring services. Figure 9a shows the telemonitoring services. This mechanism is very useful, especially in the rural area where you can't get the specialist doctor to provide the treatment for the patients. Here, the patients are equipped with sensor devices. These sensors send the data to the specialist doctor based on data. After collecting data, the sensor will send to the doctor. Based on the data, the doctors gives the medicine to the patients. The doctor can also provide the tips. Means while a sensor network is also used in monitoring the patient's information such as blood pressures, heart pulse in the hospital, same thing as shown in the figure 9b, 9c. Anyhow, this is I think I covered. Anyhow, wireless sensor networks can also be used in the home appliance and office automation in order to save the power and water. Here, the sensor node stops water flow in case if you are not using. Same thing as shown figure 10a. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in the smart environment. For example, in your house, as soon as if you enter inside the reading room, then fan will be switch on. Same thing as shown in figure 10a, 10b. In India, we are generating lot of electricity, means power, but unfortunately, lot of power, electricity is wasted. Approximately in India, we are 30% to 40% of the generated power is wasted. Sometime you can see these street lights will be on during the daytime, afternoon 1 o'clock, even 2 o'clock also, because of we are not using this power efficiently. But when it comes to village sites, there is no power during even night time also. But unfortunately, the people who are in the city, maximum people are wasting the power. I can say like that. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in the commercial application. For example, a driverless vehicle. Here, the sensor nodes are used to detect the obstacles on the way to the destinations. It moves to the destination in case if you find any obstacles. In the sense, the vehicle take the diversion if the vehicle find any obstacle, because of these sensor will detect the obstacles. Same thing as shown in figure 11a. As you know that Google is developing the driverless vehicle. By year 2025, BMW company want to develop a bus without a driver. They want to develop a bus like that. If any person forcibly try to enter inside the vehicle without owner permission, then it's make the alarm, or sometime it can also send the SMS to the owner. Same thing as shown in figure 11b. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in detecting the path holes. It helps in saving the life as well as property. It's also help in sharing the path hole information to the neighboring vehicles. Same thing as shown in figure 11c. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in traffic monitoring. Here, the sensor devices are deployed at the various junctions in order to sending the traffic data to the master control room for better traffic monitoring. Same thing as shown figure 12a. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in solving the vehicle parking space problem. Same thing as shown in figure 12b. In Delhi airports, the system is already in the place. People are using the system. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in tracking the line on the highway. Same thing as shown in figure 12c. It is very important, especially during the nighttime journey. You can find this feature in BMW higher end vehicle. Means you can find any higher end BMW cars. We can also use wireless sensor networks in managing the inventory control applications. Here, each rack is equipped with load sensor. These load sensors collect the weights of the racks and sends load information to the base station. Based on the data, I mean weights, the supplier can fill the item on the track. If the items are sold, then weights of the rack will be come down. Same thing as shown in figure 13a. Wireless sensor networks can also be used in museum. Here, each stall is equipped with sensor device to know the item precisely. The main motivation is to provide more useful information to the visitors. Same thing as shown in figure 13b. It can Wireless sensor networks can also be used in opening the doors. Here, the sensors detect the objects. Based on that, the doors will be open automatically. Same thing as shown figure 13c. The factors which influence the wireless sensor design. Now I'm talking about the some of the factors which influence the wireless sensor networks design. Now, acceptance of the fault tolerance is one of the factor in the wireless sensor networks. Data accuracy is very important. How accuracy the data is sent by the sensor node is very important. Sometimes the sensors use the wrong uh, information due to the malfunction. Scalability is another factor in the wireless sensor networks. The system in a position to support more number of sensor devices in the networks. Production cost is another factor in the wireless sensor networks. The, the cost of the sensor node should be very cheap. Hardware is another constraint in the wireless sensor networks. Sometimes some of the components will not synchronize with other components. Environment is another factor in the wireless sensor networks. Sometimes sensor will not work if the climate is not good. Transmission media is another factor in the wireless sensor networks. Means WSN works on the IEEE 802 15.4 or Zigbee standards. The power consumption is another important factor in wireless sensor networks. While sensing the data, it consuming the power. While transmitting the data, it consumes the power. While processing data, it consuming the power. Even if it is idle, also it's consume some power. Now, sensor node components. If you take any sensor, you can find some of the common components like a microcontroller, because it may be the PIC microcontroller, it may be the ARM, or it may be the DSP. Even you can also find there is a component called transceiver, and you can also find there is a component called power unit. In order to process the data, it required the microcontroller. In order to send the data or receiving the data, it's need a transceiver. In order to supply the power to different components, you require its need power units. A right side of the figure shows the various sensor devices such as Mica 2. These sensor devices will collect the like a temperature value, moisture informations. Wireless sensor networks communication architecture. If you look at the right side of the figure 15a, you can see the various sensors which right side, it's collect the data and then send this data to the sync node. Here data is transmitted to the task manager node through internet. Some of the application like collecting the temperature value or CO value remotely, you can use this architecture. What I want to say that in case if you want to collect any text message that has to be transmitted, then you can use this communication architecture. Now, list of the simulators for the wireless sensor networks. Here I am providing the some of the simulators that are used for the execution of the programs in wireless sensor networks environments. These simulators which helps in solving the problems of wireless sensor networks as well as even mobile ad hoc networks. Here some of the simulators are licensed one and some of them are unlicensed one. Now in next slides I will give in details with respect to various simulator so that you can use. Now when you're talking about the network simulator, it is a free simulator. Latest version of network simulator is NS 3.30. This simulator will support the Linux operating system. It is also support the Solaris operating system. It is also support the Windows operating system. By using this simulator, means network simulator, we can simulate the problems of the wireless sensor networks problems as well as mobile ad hoc networks. Up to my knowledge, maximum people will prefer the wireless sensor networks because of its provide always data accuracy, and you will also get lot of support from the network simulator forum. There is a forum, NS forum. The maximum people, those who are doing in this area, means the problem who are solving the NS3 or NS2 platform, you can get a lot of tips from these forums. For example, by using this simulator, we can analyze the packet error rates and throughput. In general, network simulators gives the realistic outputs as compared to other simulators. This is one of the advantage of this simulator. One of the drawback of this simulator is that we cannot simulate more number of nodes. In case if you want to more than 300 400 nodes, if you want to deploy in the networks, then NH simulator, no, somewhat it's not give uh, uh, values properly. Now, there is another simulator we can call as a Omni Plus. It is a free simulator which can be used in the educational institutions as well as non-commercial purpose. In the sense, if any people want to non-commercial activities, if they want to do execute some of the programs, then you can use Omnet. Latest version of Omnet is version 5.6. It supports the operating system like Linux, and it is also support the Mac operating systems. It is also support the Windows operating systems. Omnet plus it is used for the solving the problem of wireless sensor networks as well as mobile ad hoc networks. For example, by using this simulator, we can analyze the performance of the networks, like a number of packets is sent by the source node, number of packet is received by the destination node. In a sense, to analyze the throughputs, we can use the simulator, and we can also analyze the number of packets dropped during the transmission. And we can also analyze the node status. For example, routers alive or not, means I want to know intermediate devices like a router whether it is alive or not. We can analyze. You can also use to know the working condition of the router, means state means performance of the router also. One of the limitation of this simulator is it is not supports, means it supports only limited number of protocols. There is another simulator called Java based simulator. Sometimes we can call as a J simulator. It is a free simulator that can be used in the educational institution as well as non-commercial purpose. The latest version of Java-based simulator is version 2.20. Means this simulator will support Linux operating system and Windows operating system. It supports JSIM simulator is used in solving the problem of wireless sensor networks as well as mobile ad hoc networks. For example, by using this simulator, we can analyze the network performance of various queuing model. For example, M bar N, M bar M. Like there are different queue models are exist. In order to analyze these queuing models, we can use this simulator. We can also analyze the conjunction algorithms like a random early detection model, even other algorithms also you can simulate, you can see the performance. One of the drawback of this simulator is it take more amount of the time for the execution of the program. Now, there is another simulator we call NC2NS. It is a license-based simulator. Few years back, it was unlicensed one, but now it is a licensed simulator. The latest version is NC2NS version 6. It is the latest version. This simulator will support the Linux platform. This by using this simulator, we can solve the problem of wireless sensor networks problem as well as mobile ad hoc network problems. For example, we can use this simulator in analyze the basic routing protocol such as AODV, on-demand on-demand distance vector routing protocol, DSR protocol, DSDV protocol. You can analyze the performance. One of the drawback of this simulator is it cannot give the more realistic output as compared to networks simulator. Now, there is another simulator called Netsim. It is a free simulator and latest version is Netsim version 12.1. Uh, this simulator will support the Windows 7 operating system. Even it will also support the Vista operating system, even XP platform. This simulator can be used in solving the problem of wireless sensor networks and mobile HADAC network. For example, by using this simulator, we can analyze the routing overhead, like a communication overhead. We can analyze. It can also be used in assessing the power usage, means how much of power consuming. We can analyze. We can also analyze the packet delivery ratio. In the sense, I want to know the network throughputs. Means how many number of packets is sent by the source node, how many number of packet is received by the destination node. We can analyze by using this simulator also. There is another simulator called underwater simulator. Sometimes we can call as a UW sim. It is licensed simulator. Latest version of this simulator is version 1.1. This simulator will work on the Ubuntu operating system. By using this simulator, we can solve the problem of mobile HADAC networks and ground-based sensor systems. For example, by using this simulator, we can detect the objects which are inside the sea. It can be also used in analyzing the bandwidth. There is another simulator we call as a visual sense. It is a license-based simulator. Latest version of this simulator is 6.02. This simulator will support the Windows operating systems. Even it is also support the Mac operating system. It can be used in the solving of the problem of wireless sensor networks. For example, we can use this simulator in analyzing the energy consumption, and we can also analyze the power aware routing algorithms like a minimum total transmission power routing algorithms. Other power aware routing algorithms also can be analyzed. There is another simulator, MATLAB. It is a licensed one. Latest version of the MATLAB is 9.6. One of the advantage of this simulator is that it supports the Windows operating systems, even Linux operating systems, even Mac operating system. By using the MATLAB, we can solve the problem of wireless sensor networks, mobile HADAC networks, even other domain problem also can be solved. Up to my knowledge, other domain people are using this simulator because of it support the lot of feature. In the sense, not only computer science, not only ECE, even civil, mechanical, even electronics, like a maximum, even math people also, they are using the simulator because of it support the lot of features. For example, by using this simulator, we can analyze the network throughputs. We can also analyze the lifetime of the node as well as lifetime of the network also. There is another simulator we call as a wireless sensor networks localizations. It is a license-based simulator. Latest version is version 2.1. It works on the Windows operating system. Uh, by using this simulator, we can solve the problem of wireless sensor networks as well as mobile ad hoc networks, like to analyze the network throughputs in order to identify the node in the location. In the sense, I want to know the location of the node in the network in geography. We can use this simulator. Yeah, there is another simulator we call as a LabVIEW. LabVIEW, it is a license-based tools. Latest version is LabVIEW NXG. It is the latest version. It supports the Windows operating systems. It is also support the Linux, even Mac operating systems. Um, it can be used in solving the problem of wireless sensor networks, mobile ad hoc networks, even vehicular ad hoc networks, even other domain problem also can be solved. Up to my knowledge, even other streaming people like a math, chemistry, physics people can also be use this simulator for solving the various problems because of it support the lot of features. uh, with respect to here networking side, by using the simulator we can analyze the power operating protocols like a MTPP algorithms, CMBC algorithms. We can analyze. We can also analyze the network throughputs. Now, now I'm talking about the list of the operating system for the wireless sensor networks. Here, I am providing the list of the operating systems that can be used for the wireless sensor networks environment. Here, some of the operating systems are licensed one, some of the are unlicensed one. When you're talking about the TINI operating systems, it is open source operating systems. It is an embedded based operating systems. It was developed by University of California and Intel Research and Crossbow Technology. It is joint research works because these three teams have, companies, organization come together. They jointly develop this TINI operating systems. Latest version is TINI 2.1. One of the advantages is that it supports the low power wireless devices, means it supports the applications like ubiquitous computing applications, personal area network applications. It is also support the building automation. There is another operating system we can call as a Quantiki. It is open source operating systems. Latest version of this is 3.1. It was developed by Adam D. It supports the low power wireless IoT devices. It supports the application like a light monitoring street lights and sound monitoring in the smart cities and monitoring the radiation levels and sending the alarms. There is another operating system we can call as Nano RK. It is open source operating systems. It is a real-time based operating systems. It's run on the microcontroller. It was developed by the Carnegie Mellon University. It support the home automation applications. In case if any event detects, then it sends some sort of message to the like a switch off the fan, lights like that. Now I'm talking about the some of the open issues in wireless sensor networks. Yeah, there are some open issues in wireless sensor networks. If you are interested to do the research in the wireless sensor networks, then you can choose following issues for your research works. Next slides, I will explaining them in more details, like accuracy. One of the issues in wireless sensor network is accuracy. How accuracy the data is sent by the sensor. In the sense, the system in a position to detect the events or sometimes even it may be the object accurately. When you are doing the real-time applications, means data accuracy is very important. For example, during the war times you need more accuracy value like a position of the object so that the target will not miss. That's meaning of that. There is another open issue is throughputs in wireless sensor networks. Providing the 100% throughput is not easy task in wireless sensor networks due to the several reasons. One of the reason is limited transmission range because of the sensor device, it has a limited, it probably 10 meters to 15 meters like that. Even another reason is limited battery power because of no, if you take in Wi-Fi, you have a the battery is more, but when it comes to sensor networks, no, the device what you use, the the battery is limited battery. Even other reason are like obstacles. If there is any obstacles are there, the signal cannot penetrate. Even another issue is climate. If the climate is not good, then the sensor device will not function. Now, I'm talking about the coverage area. Another open issues in wireless sensor network is coverage area. The coverage area is very limited in the wireless sensor networks as compared to mobile HADOC networks. The topology size may be 200 meters into 2000 meter, even less than that. Every node in a position to transmit the data within the range of 15 meters or sometime it may be less than that also. Maintenance. Another open issues in wireless sensor network is less maintenance. Replacement of a node which is not functioning, I mean the node which is not working, we have to replace it, then deploy another node. We have to correct the malfunctioning sensor devices in the network. Security. Another open issues in wireless sensor network is security. Wireless sensor means when you're talking about the wire networks is less secure as compared to wired networks. While transmitting the data like a sensitive information, we must take care before sending data to the sync node. It means that you have to use well-known established security algorithms like a RSA algorithms or any better algorithms which protect the data during the transmission time. There is another issue is power in wireless sensor network. Within the limited battery power, the sensor has to sense the data, then transmit the data. Within the limited battery power, sensor has to receive the data also. Multimedia applications. Another issues in wireless sensor network to support the multimedia application. In order to support the multimedia applications, you need more bandwidth. But in wireless sensor networks, you will not get more bandwidth as compared to mobile HADOC networks or even any other networks like a cellular networks. So transmitting the multimedia application in wireless sensor network is another challenges. Now, delay. Another issues in wireless sensor network is end-to-end delay. Developing a new routing algorithm for wireless sensor network to send the data from the sensor node to sync node that should not take more amount of time to reach the destination node means reducing the communication overhead is also another issue in wireless sensor networks. Now, lifetime. Another issues in wireless sensor network is to increase the node lifetime as well as network lifetime. If the lifetime of node increases, then automatically you are also increasing the lifetime of network also. You need efficient routing algorithm so that it can increase the node lifetime as well as network lifetime. Now, another issue in wireless sensor network is cost. In India, the cost is major issue. People come people can come forward to purchase the sensor devices if cost of the sensor device is low. In case the cost of the devices is more, the people will not come forward. So whenever you developing or manufacturing the sensor devices, you need to develop a low cost devices. Another issue is heterogeneous. In the sense, in wireless sensor networks, system has to support the multiple protocols and multiple different devices in the networks. For example, Zigbee should be support 6 low pan. Even different devices should work together. These devices may be manufactured by the different vendor. In the sense, the synchronization has to be there. Now I'm talking about the funding agency. Here I am just listing the some of the funding agency which can financially support to execute the wireless sensor network project proposal. In ACT, there are schemes like RPS, research promotion schemes. With respect to these schemes, ACT gives 26 lakhs. There is another scheme called CAYT, Career Award for the Young Teacher. Under these schemes, ACT will give 20 means means 9 lakhs. There is another scheme called Nationally Coordinated Project Schemes. Under these schemes, ACT gives 50 lakhs. And even in fact, even UGC will also give the funding. There are schemes like a major research project and minor research project, even research award. There are multiple schemes. They have UGC. Under major research project, you can get 10 lakhs to 12 lakhs from the UGC. Under minor research projects, you can get 1.5 lakhs to 2 lakhs from the UGC. In case if you belongs to engineering stream. In case we are in science stream, the amount is less, little bit with respect to UGC. With respect to here, minor research project proposal will be scrutinized at the regional level office of the UGC, whereas major research proposal will be scrutinized at the UGC office, New Delhi. There is another scheme called Research Award. Under these schemes, UGC will give 2 years salary plus contingency grants. I can proudly say this, from these schemes, I received 44 lakhs from the UGC UGC. My 2 year salary will be paid by the UGC. So this is I want to say that because of from these schemes, because of you can get a lot of benefits with respect to salary point of view. So yeah, there is a other funding agency we can call as a Media Lab Asia, New Delhi. It gives the research grant for the wireless sensor networks proposal. Under these schemes, you get large grants from the Media Lab Asia as compared to other funding agency. Up to my knowledge, this is the only one agency which is give the large, it means huge amount of the grants, like if you're submitting any research proposal. But only thing is that you have to do interdiscipline, as well as you have to collaborate with other institutions. This is the one of the condition of this scheme. It has been funded by the Ministry of Electronics, Information Technology. There is another funding agency is Vision Group on Science and Technology, VGST, Bangalore. It gives the grant for the wireless sensor networks research proposal. There is a scheme called CSEM, in the sense Center for Excellence in Science, Engineering, Medicines. Under this scheme, VGST will give 60 lakhs. There is another scheme called CISE, Center of Innovative Science and Engineering Education. Under these schemes, VGST gives 30 lakhs. Means there are other schemes like a KFest level 1, KFest level 2. Under these schemes, VGST will give 20 lakhs, 40 lakhs respectively as a grants. There is another scheme called Young Scientist Award. Some now they're calling as a RGS. Under these schemes, VGST will give 5 lakhs. There is another funding agency, Department of Science and Technology. In DSC, there are schemes like IDP, TIDE, Innovation Science schemes, even Women Scientist schemes. We can submit your research proposal to the DST. From IDP scheme, I got nearly 27 lakhs from the DST. Means DSC also, Department of Science also will give money under bilateral schemes like Indo-US, Indo-UK, and Indo-German, Netherlands programs. I'm just listing here only few programs, but there are lot of bilateral schemes which is sponsored by the various government agencies. You can submit your research proposal to the Department of Science and Technology in order to secure the research grants. There is another agency called SERB. SERB, New Delhi will give, Science and Education Research Board, we call as a SERB. New Delhi has a various schemes like individual research grants, startup research grants. You can submit your research proposal so that to secure the research grants. Even CSIR, even New Delhi will also give the research grants in order to execute the latest wireless sensor networks projects under the various schemes. In fact, even DRDO, even ISR also will give research grants in order to execute the latest project proposal on wireless sensor networks under the various schemes. Now, conclusion. In future, wireless sensor networks will play a prominent role in our daily life. Means wireless sensor networks makes our life more and more comfortable. One of the limitation of wireless sensor networks is transmission range is very limited. Regarding the simulator, which one you want to use, all simulators are good, but I prefer network simulator since network simulators gives more accuracy data as compared to other simulator. With respect to underwater simulator, especially, it is good in order to detecting the object underwater. In wireless sensor networks, there are various constraints how to be satisfied before sending the alert message by the sensor node. It should not send the false information. In the sense, false informations need to be minimized. I mean, malfunction information that has to be taken care. In the sense, I'll go on small example. Sometime, in your office there is no smokes, but this smoke sensor will detect, detect that there is a smoke because of malfunction that has to be taken care. Now, list of the references. These are the papers I have referred for my presentation. These are the paper I have referred my presentation. Yeah. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yeah. Sir, it's left audience. Hello?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Sir,
Sir, thank you, sir. Sincerely, it is a very wonderful and very informative session. Once again, we'll like to thank you, sir, from the organizing committee, from the Department of BMSCE, from the head of the department, for accepting the invitation and also gracing this event very successfully. Uh, Sir, you gave a lot of information regarding the current day trends,
yes, sir.
especially. Uh, um, Sir, I request the participants for any queries. You have any queries? Please post in the comments. And also, sir, we got a wonderful feedback about your session from the participants. Everybody are mentioning like the presentation is very informative,
Thank you, sir.
very nice, very good feedback from the presenters, from the participants.
Thank you, sir.
So I feel, yeah, there is, so there are no queries from the participant side. So once again, we are so thankful for you, sir, for getting this event. We like to thank to all the participants also for your active response. And also, I request all the participants to join in the afternoon session also. In fact, the afternoon session is also taken by the sir only, dealing with the topic sandalwood tree protection using Bluetooth version 4.0. Once again, I thank all the I thank sir for gracing this event, and also I thank the participants. Participants, please subscribe, like, and click the bell button for the further notifications. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.